Hey, we're live. We are live. I feel like I haven't done this in a long time. And my friend Goody is here, but let's get this thing going. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's Friday, and we're talking about all things Real Housewives of Dubai with my friend Goody. I have a whole lot to say. And I feel I haven't been live in such a long time. You see, you guys, I changed my hair style and I don't like it, but hey, that is neither here or there. Let's have Goody over here. Goody, I haven't seen you in a long time. What's happening?
Can you hear me? Cause I'm on the road.
I can hear you.
Cool. What's up?
Where are you going?
To Best Buy to pick up a carpet cleaner.
Oh, okay. Now, can you hear? Can you hear?
Nothing lit.
I can hear some echo. Are you good? Let me ask people. Hey, Monique. Hi. Hi, Ellen. Can you guys hear us good? I cannot. I don't like. I can hear you good, but when I speak, I feel like a whole lot of noise.
I hear static when you speak.
Really?
Yeah.
How about
But
now?
that's not new. That's just you going.
Wait, let me put something. Introduce yourself to the people. Let me get my mic.
It's Goody.
Tell people why
I've been around. I stopped watching The Real Housewives of Dubai because I was tired of the same trivial drama over and over again. Tired of Ayan and Stansbury. Tired of the flip flopping ass chicks. Like, just tired.
Yeah. About
But
what?
we'll get to the flip floppers in a second.
I am tired too.
Because they wear me out.
Girl, listen. I'm with you on that one.
So where do you want to start?
Is it has it changed now?
Not for the better, beloved.
Is that better?
Nope.
I cannot hear you, Goody.
It's not better.
I'm not hearing anything. Okay. That's not normal.
It's bad. Whatever you did is worse. It's bad. Now you sound like you underwater too. Static and underwater.
Is that better, you guys? Anyone watching? Are we good?
Nope.
Yeah, it's coming from Goody.
It's coming from me.
Echo is
Because I
going.
only hear it when you talk.
How about now?
It's just I just hear what's on call it.
Okay, yeah. When I speak, there's an echo from your end. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Try and mute when I'm speaking. Okay. Okay. So when I'm speaking, you mute because then that is good. I can hear you very good. When I'm speaking, you can mute, and then when you speak, you're good because I don't hear any echo from my end when you're speaking. I think that should work. I think that should work.
Where do you want to start, Mama?
Oh my gosh. Where do you want me to start? Where do you want me to start? Because let's start from. Okay, good. When I'm speaking, okay. Let's start with the argument between Stanberry and Ayan. Okay, go ahead. Share your thoughts about that.
I feel like Stansberry's not clear on what's going on, or she just doesn't remember what she says. But to constantly ask somebody what they do for a living after they've told you what they do for a living, and they kind of do it on low, even if she was a model, that's enough answer for what do you do for a living. So I'm not quite sure why the question keeps repeating. And I
Um,
get why Ayan was frustrated. And not only do I understand why she was frustrated, um, I can see how Lisa and in the moment Brooks were also offended, because as Black women we are always in this position where we always have to prove that we belong at the table, because that question essentially is, what have you done to be at this table? That's essentially what the question is.
Now, I don't like Stanberry, but I have not seen her dismissing Ayan. I have not seen her ask those questions. And it's true, about black people, or black people generally, trying to prove yourself. But in this particular situation, I don't understand why she's coming for Stanberry, really. I haven't seen her put her down like that. And in fact, in that argument, she wasn't coming from a bad place. She was trying to say they were just having an argument, and Ayan is over here heated for no reason. And in this particular situation, I don't think Stanberry was in any wrong.
See, this is the thing. If you go around the table and you tell everybody all of these amazing things they do, and you get to me and it's like, and you, yeah, you exist, or what
Is
do you
that
do, or like
is
it's
that what
dismissive.
happened? Is that what happened, really?
I feel like that's what happened.
No, they
Because
were
if
just
it's not
they were
what
talking
happened,
about.
how come Lisa and Caroline Brooks were also like, what's she asking you that for?
No, the
And
response
it's a sensitivity.
it is. I
And
agree.
I'm tired of you touching my nerve. We all know I have this nerve. Stop touching it.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time you touch it, you're playing with me.
I don't agree. I don't know because they were talking about her husband being dependent, and Ayan was over here saying, yeah, I depend on my husband and all this. That argument has had nothing to do with you, what you do and what you do and what you. I feel like it was blown out of proportion by Ayan. All right, she wasn't coming from a bad place. The only thing is when she went there to apologize, she just didn't accept it. Now that in that sense, I can see where Ayan is gonna get hurt. But then again, that
But
the
even if
factor.
we're talking about the apology, how many times does Ayan have to say to her, thank you for inviting us? And
Mm-hmm,
how many times are you going to lie about your engagement with Ayan?
mm-hmm.
Because you flat out lie. You either don't remember what's going on or you're a friggin' liar. It's
Yeah,
not the first time it's happened. She's totally oblivious to things she has said and things she has done to prompt reactions. Also of note, if you constantly poke, pardon, if you constantly poke the bear, even when I'm going to be on the defensive when you come around.
okay, I can see that. But when they were talking about it, about the situation, and Brooks and Lisa, everybody was saying yeah, and they continue with that conversation about black women, having to prove yourself. And Brooks continued on her confessional saying, no, why does it have to be that Stanberry's husband gets to come and hang out with to console her, yet Ayan's husband, doesn't show up. I see
It's
that.
to
But
me,
then
it's
when
what
she
the hell
leaves,
is what is Stansberry crying about? What are you crying for? Why are you crying?
I have never seen her cry.
Now you're so fragile. Ayan has done so much to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Every time I open my mouth, Ayan told, don't ask me what I do. I do more than you do. And I've been doing more than you've been doing since I was 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody who was not born with a silver spoon in their mouth to be sitting at that table having any discussion, they have done more than Stansberry.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I am not disagreeing with that. All I'm saying is, mute yourself, Goody. I am not disagreeing with that. All I'm saying is, I don't think in this particular argument and in this particular situation, I don't think Stanbury was coming from a bad place. But that you, like you say, if they had been having this back and forth, then of course Ayan is gonna be defensive in everything. You know, whenever she has a conversation with her, right? So I get that. But I'm saying in this conversation, in this argument they were having, I think, you know, Ayan was taking it a little bit too far. It was unnecessary.
And I'm gonna disagree. And the reason
Okay.
I disagree is because the husband did pull up. Why is he pulling up?
Because she
Why
shared
your
her
husband?
concerns with her husband when she went to the
So
place.
she so if it wasn't a big thing, why'd you call your husband? Why are you crying? You don't even cry for your men. Now you crying?
It wasn't, I'm saying the argument itself was blown out of proportion by a yarn, but then it continued and it made Stanberry feel some type of way. And then she was sharing this information with her husband, and that's why she was crying, just like Ayan was crying. All I'm saying, I don't understand why Stanberry's husband get to come and Ayan's husband never comes, is what I'm saying. That I disagree with.
It's because Stansberry called her man and she was crying, and he's like, I ain't never seen her cry before. Let me get down there real quick to see what that looked like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she called her husband as a damsel in distress. Ayan called her husband invented. There's two different situations.
Mm. Then they say Stanberry was coming from a place of schooling Ayan. Yes, that is true. I guess when she was talking about, you know, about the husband and being, you know, dependent on the husband. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
And you
Mm.
don't worry, if I'm dependent on my husband today, let me, because I've been working since I was a child. And you don't know nothing about that. So shut your stupid mouth and stop schooling me. Because not only have I gone to school, I've paid for school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you
So
might have
then,
been so high and drunk through your schooling, you don't remember.
so so then, if these black women are on agreement that yes, Stanberry was in the wrong, Stanberry was coming for Stanberry is asking unnecessary and questions. So why would Brooks, the first thing she does when they leave, goes back to Stanberry to console or to find out how she's feeling or how she's doing?
Because she's a flopping flip flopper. Flippy flip flopping ass bitch. That's Beyonce.
Yes, she is.
Because that didn't make any sense. And she knew she was being a flip flopper because she goes in the confessional. She's like, I saw where they were both coming from. You didn't.
No, you didn't.
And you didn't ask her, how come you bring him in? You didn't ask her the valuable question.
Not even that. Not even, I don't even care. At this point, I don't care about at this point, I don't care about her bringing the man when you're having this conversation with Stanberry. At this point, I want you to ask uh, make sure or engage Stanberry because it seems like, you know, when Stanberry is having a conversation with Ayan, then there's a misunderstanding. Okay, so then I expect Brooks, who thinks that, you know, and whose English is way better than Ayan, then make it clear. Let Stanberry know where Ayan was coming from, where black people or black women stand. She never had
Honestly,
that conversation.
I didn't hear Ayan tell her, because I don't speak English, I didn't understand that.
They
I
say
didn't
that.
hear that. She said that?
No, no, no. I'm saying when Brooks mute. When Brooks was having a conversation with Stanberry, they kept saying that sometimes when Ayan does not understand something, she said, "Oh, I don't understand English. I don't understand English." That's what she was saying. Stanberry said, and
Yes, but
Brooks
she did not
was in
say that
agreement.
in this argument. In this argument, she was like, in this discussion after, because I'm not calling it a true apology. She was like, look, it felt like you was coming for me. If I misunderstood that, but that has nothing to do with language.
No.
But people will show you where they're coming from when they start explaining to you where they think you're coming from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because she ain't say nothing about I don't speak good English.
She never said that. I am saying Stanberry and Brooks, when they were having this chit chat, the two of them together,
Oh, I
they
know
never.
what you're saying, but all I'm saying is this boils down to what Ayan was talking about. And it's the same kind of argument I've heard you have about people thinking that you don't know what the hell is going on
Mm-hmm.
because English isn't your native tongue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna bet that you learned English just as well as you learn Kenyan,
Mm-hmm.
or you learn, what is it called?
Swahili.
Swahili. You learn Swahili, and then you learned English, and
Mm-hmm.
you know French.
Mm-hmm. And that's a problem. That's what I was saying. Immediately somebody hears, mute yourself. Jesus. Immediately somebody hear your accent. And here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with this. People, we have French speaking people in France, and we have French speaking people in Africa. But whenever you hear any accent from France or Spain or whatever, or UK, oh my gosh, that's so cute. In fact, that is not associated with not knowing anything. Immediately I open my
Let
mouth
me
and
let
you
me
hear
help
an
you out
African
though.
accent.
I don't like none of it. I don't like any of that. If I don't understand, I don't understand. I don't care where you're from. Now
Listen.
that said, I'm not saying that you're saying Ayan said that, because Ayan didn't say, "Oh, I don't speak good English, that's why I don't understand." But Carolyn's, like Ayan's issue with Carolyn, both of them really, to me, is the same issue you have with people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think you trying to take me for an idiot, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have had that. You know that.
So that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you may not have been saying, "What do you do for a living?" But now you're implying that I don't understand what you were saying and how you were trying to defend me. You weren't defending me. You
Mm-hmm.
weren't repping my set.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what you thought you were doing, you need a lesson on how to do that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But like Donna D said, you're trying to school me because you think I don't understand. And that's the only issue I have with Ayan's. It's not that she don't understand English, but if she could grasp it as quickly, she'd be able to be like, "Yo, you really think I'm an idiot?"
Mm-hmm.
But you keep asking the same question over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
because you're asking the same question, I need to know from you, are you daft?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
not only have I told you what I've done, you've seen me doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if people are coming into town and using me for real estate, you've heard about me.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's either you stupid or you think I'm stupid. But you see,
Or 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 mute yourself. Or Stanberry sees her as a threat. All right. She wasn't expecting this. She wasn't expecting her to be the breakout star of the show. She was expecting herself to be, because remember, I feel like she's the one who brought all these girls together because of the show that she did prior to this. She had a show with Bravo. So I feel like she was expecting to be the star of the show, and then it did not happen. It happened to be Ayan, and now she's jealous. She's really jealous about it. And so she's
see, I
trying
don't
to.
ever like jealousy as a valid argument. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So when she says, "Oh, it's like I intimidate her," nah, I don't like that as a valid argument. When people have a problem with me,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that I'm disrupting within them, I'm never going to tell you it's jealousy. Because in my head, what you got to be jealous for? Anything
Mm-hmm.
you see me with, I work so hard for it, it don't even make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be jealous of that,
Right.
right? So that it's always, to me, that's always a weak argument. When you start saying someone's jealous of you and the way you move, it's easier to say that than, "Oh yeah, I did ask her 55 times what she do for a living." It's
Mm-hmm.
easier to say that than, "Oh yeah, I'm rude. Maybe I intimidate her, or maybe you're rude." So
She.
I never like, and then her husband said the same thing, but he's in his 20s. That's what people in their 20s are going to do. But as a big hardback 40 something old woman doing that, you got to be kidding me.
I don't. I like. Why would this? What's his name? Sergio. What is Sergio coming to do in the girls trip? What is he doing? What is he doing there? He gets. What is he doing?
What's he doing saying, "Oh, I think maybe she's intimidated by you"? Fam,
I
you're the
can't.
only person intimidated by Stansberry is you, because you ain't got no money. And she's big. She's the biggest thing that ever happened to you.
To you. Yes.
So she's the only one who's intimidated. You're the only one intimidated by her. Everybody else who sits at that table has earned their way to that table. Even if, you know what? You want to know when he's going to be at that table? When a group of people who marry for money, because, you know, I believe a lot of these women ended up in Dubai
Mm-hmm.
outside of Sarah because their husbands are from the what is it? UAI?
United Arabs. EAU. EAU.
EAU.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when they have a show about men who that can be intimidated because they married for money, or they married up, and not that he married for money, even though I think he might have. And I'm not saying the other ladies did. I think Lisa and her husband are well matched.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen Caroline Brooks with her dude. Nina loves her dude, right? So I'm not saying they all married for money, but I'm saying that when they married these dudes did make a significant amount more than they did. And
Right.
someone like Lisa is now in a position where she doesn't feel intimidated by the wealth of her husband because she started to add wealth to it.
Mm-hmm.
Brooks is not intimidated because she started to add her own wealth.
Right. But we saw Brooke ex-husband. There was a scene that she was talking to him, the father of her son. We saw that. Yeah. So we saw that we saw, I think, the last episode prior to this one. But Erica is saying this. Sergio only heard Stanberry's side of the story. She never tells him the fully what happened. When Sergio talks to Ayan, he loved her. Yeah, prior to this. But when he was having this conversation with Stanberry, he was not taking Ayan's side. He was actually thinking.
He can't take Ayan's side. He don't make enough money to take Ayan's side. He don't make enough money to tell Caroline, hey, maybe you got this wrong. All he can do is be like, oh, they jealous of you. That's all he can do. They must be intimidated by your beauty. She's by far the ugliest thing on the show. And that's including all the help.
Goody, extend some grace.
I am. But yeah, she's not good looking. Like, stop playing with us. Nobody's jealous or intimidated by her. Ayan wasn't jealous. She was frustrated. Who's intimidated by who? Ayan wore a bikini and a shawl to the wedding. And she's wearing a wedding dress. Nah, that's not a wedding dress. It's a bikini. It's a bathing suit and a cover up. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what about
the scene where she was like, "Oh, Carolyn wearing this thing that I love," or "Carolyn's man is hot," or "Her lips are so injected. I wish mine could be like that too." Nah, Carol, she ain't never had that. We gotta stop playing with me. You made me watch this because I stopped watching. I'm tired of the pettiness. You made me watch this. It's the same argument over and over again, and nobody can read as well as Atlanta. This
so
is the equivalent of watching a bunch of shows with Marlo and friggin' what's her name? Ralph's wife. What's Drew. It's like watching Marlo and Drew try to read people. They can't read. You know, Ayan's funny.
Yes.
But outside of that, they can't read.
No, they can't.
So yeah, nah.
But do you agree? Carlos King said that all these women from Dubai have watched Real Housewives, different kind of Real Housewives, and they're trying to imitate. Uh, they have their own people that they're trying to imitate, and therefore they're not coming out as authentic. What do you think about that?
I'm gonna disagree with that. Like, I cannot imagine anyone that Ayan is acting like. Lisa seems to be acting like herself as well. Brooks might be giving us a little K Michelle, not any other housewife, but some K Michelle. And Brooks might have some advice she's taking from Phaedra.
Mhm.
Stansberry thinks that whoever she is great enough, and Sarah and Nina just seem lost in the sauce.
So you're not, you don't want a second season of Dubai?
They would have to do something else.
Mm.
And honestly, I'm not too enthralled with Atlanta either. Like, I'm tired of the same foolishness.
Oh
To
no,
see
I
Sheree
Candy.
prancing around with Martell, like, you're playing with me. Because no woman in her right mind is going to be running around with Martell when he has not shown any signs of going to get any kind of help or healing for whatever it is that landed him in the position. He tanked his whole entire life. The man crashed his life.
I cannot. I can. I don't.
And the next thing he wants to do after crashing his life is get married. So to me, he just won a monkey bar from one failed relationship to the next. So just to see Sheree running around with him, and she a grown ass woman, you tell y'all playing in our face now.
I don't watch it. I don't watch Atlanta. In fact, I feel like Candy should leave Atlanta. Therefore, she has outgrown this thing. She need, just like Kyle from Beverly Hills. Just like we don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need them. Mm-mm. But I would want Sarah Nina, but not both. Oh, both of them are way more. Okay. Listen, I want a second season of Dubai, but no, I don't think you have to remember that Lisa was saying, the only things, the bad things that I've heard about Stanberry were coming from you. Uh, what's her name?
You know, like you're a social climber.
Yes. Okay. So I'm here for the second season, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Where is it? Let's talk about this because it's making. Can you see it?
I see it, I saw it, and I
Yeah.
heard you say that it kind of rubbed you the wrong way.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing I have with it. Now, circumcision it is not just in Africa. It is in Asia. It's not just in Africa. And when I say Africa, whenever somebody sees something about Africa, they think, oh, it's all over Africa. Like if somebody, they don't understand that Africa has different countries and we have different cultures. All right. The problem I have with this is she had a platform prior to this show. She doesn't have to share her story, or she did not have to share her story prior to this show to call, to bring awareness of the situation or even to advocate for those girls who have been going through that. I So for her, even when she was visiting people and she brings life goats. I don't like that because then people think that, Africans, whenever we go visiting people, we bring life goats to people. All right. Do you see what I'm saying? So then she's talking about this and everybody was going to run with it thinking that everybody in Africa is circumcised. Now, for the record, no, we are not. I am not. I actually did not know about this until I was like an adult. I didn't know that because it's nothing that happens at all the time. Now it happens with Muslims and where she comes from, the community that she comes from, it's no big deal. They do that all the time up until 2011 when my country passed a law saying, this is against, no, this is illegal. You can no longer continue doing this. All right. But then she comes out like this and she doesn't specifically say this is just from a small part of Kenya or then everyone is running away with it, thinking that everybody, including Maud over here,
I
we
want
want
to
to
challenge you
it.
on this. Mod, I want to challenge you on this.
Okay.
And this is where I want to bring you a challenge. If something happens to me, the same way you didn't know it was happening to people, right? It's fair to assume that she didn't know it wasn't happening to everybody. It happened to her. So
No,
she could have really thought it was happening. Why wouldn't she think? If you didn't know anyone else was having this done to them,
I
why
no,
would you
I
think
am
that she
saying
wouldn't? Why wouldn't she think? And I'm not saying it today, but when this happens to a 5-year-old, why wouldn't she think that this is normal?
because when you grow up, you are in your high school years. It's around that time is when you realize things that people do in different communities, different tribes. Around that time is when you realize, oh, this tribe, that this is how they have their culture, and a path to the adulthood. This is what they do. These are the tribe. That's what they do. This is what they do. All right.
Okay, that's fair.
Continue.
That's fair, but I'll give you this.
Yeah.
Don't matter if it don't happen to 200 people over there. It happened to 50 people over here. And these are the 50 people I knew. And these are the 50 people who went through that pain as well. It happened. That's one. Two, when she's talking about this, she's talking from the perspective of what happened to her.
Right.
It's a great betrayal to think that you're going to a nice trip, to be enjoying yourself, and then to be taken in the back, and for this traumatic thing to happen to you. And for this traumatic thing to be solely rooted on.
Yeah.
For this traumatic thing to solely be rooted in the control of your sexuality. That is a level of trauma.
Now,
And then the fact that she has said that wasn't the only abuse that she suffered, because she has suffered abuse at the hands of her father. Now,
physical
abuse. She has suffered abuse. I have no problem with her putting a spotlight to anyone still doing this practice. Anyone that cannot understand that this isn't all. Some people want to go to Africa, and it's like, what the hell you mean by you want to go to Africa? Where in Africa? Right? Like, you have to ask more questions. So some people are stupid, but this isn't for the stupid. This is for the people smart enough to ask the questions, smart enough to affect the change. So if you're stupid and you think it's happening all over this, and you think Africa is this place that you could just be like, I'm going to Africa, and the plane will pick you up at JFK and take you to Africa, you're an idiot. But if you have enough sense to ask questions.
Yeah. And as traumatic as she was explaining it, because it was painful, and this is exactly what happens. They tie you, they hold you down, two people hold you down, they cut your clitoris, and they sew it, because most of them, they are doing it because they don't want they want to retain your virginity, right? So they see you there. So it's traumatic, it's painful, it's all those things. And I
and it didn't stop there, because the trauma doesn't stop there. The trauma continues when you have to reverse what they've done to you. And this is a great story for her to tell, because it does explain a lot of her insecurities. Her sense, she was betrayed at 5.
Right. Right. I'm with you on that one. I was just hoping, because she has had a bigger platform, I was hoping this is something that she has been advocating for. Just like Sarah. Sarah, in the Arabic world, in Arabic culture, there are things that she has been advocating for on this social media. She did not wait for Bravo to start talking about these things. Do you see what I'm saying?
The thing. It just happened with Stansberry. She now has a platform where she's speaking out, and she's speaking more. Prior to this platform, she was a pretty face. And as a pretty face, she had a job to do. And to do her job, we don't know if she felt comfortable saying, I've been circumcised, I've gone through this trauma, because no one cares about that. In the modeling world, they'll circumcise you themselves if they think it'll make a pretty picture. So she's doing the right thing at the right time. The modeling world doesn't care about any of your stuff. Especially, so
I agree with
that. And then there has to be a level of shame, because you're saying people knowing that you two are from the same country are looking at you like, Mata, you circumcised?
That's what I'm saying.
And that's not a comfortable discussion to have.
That's what I'm saying. But then again,
not a comfortable discussion to have.
Goody, I understand you saying, in the modern world, you don't have to, but if this is something dear to you, dear to your heart, and you try to do everything that you can to raise awareness, to prevent any other girl to go through whatever you went through, then I would expect you, like, in every opportunity that you get, you're doing everything that you can to make sure that, you know what, I wouldn't want this to continue happening with other girls in my culture, where I come from, or whatever. I have not seen that anywhere up until this time that she's on Bravo.
What we are seeing is her opening her mouth and speaking outside of her comfort zone about something that's very traumatic and very personal. And we're
Yes.
seeing this not because, like, if Sarah doesn't take her to the therapist, we don't see this. Because what we do seem to know is that she said it. I don't remember a lot of my childhood because I shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
I forget it.
I don't know, but you have to goody. You also have to realize production is production, and production is gonna push you to share stories or talk about situations that are gonna make headlines. I don't know. I don't know. I hope she's authentic about it. I hope that going forward that this is she's gonna continue to, because right now, even if it's illegal in my country, it's still happening. People are still doing those things. I was reading around COVID time, because it was shut down, they continue to do those things because there was no movement, there wasn't, nothing was being monitored. So there's still some girls that are still going through that. I hope that this is not about the show, that this is dear to her heart, that now that she's spoken about it, that she'll continue, you know, advocating for this and making sure that there's no other girl that is going to go through the same thing. Because if it was for the show and the production is the one that made you share this story, that in itself is a problem with me. It's a problem.
I'm gonna say that I can't imagine a situation where um production knows she's circumcised or she was
No, no,
circumcised.
no. No, I'm
You
not saying
follow
that.
what I'm
I'm
saying?
saying you have to realize that Ayan doesn't shy away from speaking about anything. She doesn't shy. It's not something that she's gonna, you know what I'm saying? So maybe she had a conversation and she was telling them about, everybody gets fascinated when you're talking about Africa and you're telling them, your childhood and the things that you went through. She might have mentioned it, okay? And everybody was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then she was told, you can share it. This is what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't. All I'm saying
And
is
let me tell you
it came
this, one
from.
of the best, when people have things that they don't want to talk about, the best way to not talk about those things is to be to be loud, outrageous, and outlandish, and tell people things. Anything that we heard prior to that
Mhm.
didn't really matter to her. And my dad beat me. Okay. She's come to terms with her dad beat her. But she ain't come to terms with what would allow
Right.
these people
Yeah.
to take her. She ain't come to terms with that. I think that's authentic. I think
Okay.
what because it's a real tactic. It's called the Kansas City Shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
You show people this, and this, and they won't look at that. The
Mm.
only difference is Sarah is a different kind of person. Sarah sees through BS. Sarah's not gonna just sit down and argue with Ayan. Sarah's gonna be like, for her to be carrying on in this manner, there's something deep, there's something dark, and there's something she needs looked at.
And that is a friendship I wanted to see flourish between Sarah and Diane. But they are on this Twitter world
It won't.
coming for they're coming
It's
around.
not gonna flourish.
Why?
Because when you're someone like Sarah and you look deeper, it makes people uncomfortable. And what happens is people start to think you're judgmental when you're telling people what you see, and what criticism or advice feels like criticism when you're not ready to hear it.
Yeah, but she was. I don't think they were having a good conversation. They were. She's the one who was talking about. She took her first for the first therapy, talking about her dad. Now she's taking her to this other one. So she's coming from a good place. That is a relationship that would have wanted to see, flourish.
Yes, but in the real world, that's very they say when people go to therapy, um don't expect to see any real big improvement for a long time, because the first few sessions is just opening old wounds. The next few sessions is the bleeding.
Do
It
you
takes
think
a while before you get to the healing.
so? Erica is saying Sarah looks deep, but she also looks down. Do you think so? Do you share that perspective?
I don't think she looks down, but then, Sarah and I do the same thing, right? So, and I have been in a position where, like, when you speak with authority, people feel like you're looking down on them. For a
Mm-hmm.
long time, there's a whole bunch of people who will be like, Goody thinks she better than me because boom, boom, boom. And it would be something as simple as me saying, mind you, I did start watching P Valley. Like, I watched the last 5 episodes.
Okay.
Um, but something as simple as you saying that you don't watch for your reason,
Mm-hmm.
people will be like, well, I watch. Does she think she's better than me? And there's a host of things I just don't do because you know, I say pass gas. There's words I don't say. There's ways that I don't carry myself. And people think that just because I don't carry myself in those ways that I'm judging them when they do. Now, they're not 100% wrong because when I was less evolved, I was judgmental. But
Mm-hmm.
as I started to become, highlight more of the God in me, I realized I don't have what it takes to judge anybody,
Right.
right? But when you are that kind of person, and when you are showing people their darkness, and when you are when you're pointing to something and being like, nah, this isn't just her being a bitch. There's a reason she's being this way. The
Mm-hmm.
people who want to just be like, oh, she's a bitch, they don't like it because now they have to, before just labeling something, they have to think about, well, why is she doing that? Those people don't like it. And the
Mm-hmm.
person that you're looking at them and you're saying, yo, I
So
feel you,
was
you're mad.
did you watch her having an argument, or the argument that she had with Brooks, Sarah and Brooks, about her Brooks' motherhood and how she raised her
Yes.
child? There wasn't anything wrong that Sarah said.
But Brooks, like I said, advice, because all she said was, you need to bring him closer.
Mm-hmm.
But advice feels like criticism if you ain't ready to hear that shit. Now, what Brooks was trying to do in that moment, she thought rich people send their kids to private school, to boarding school, and I'm a rich person. I'm a rich bitch, and this is
Mm-hmm.
how I'm gonna show the world that I got money. My child going to boarding school. That's what she was thinking. So now when Sarah, somebody who money's not really new to Sarah.
Right. Right.
So when Sarah's like, money ain't really new to me. A lot of my friends went and they ain't like it. And you could speak to Stansberry because, like, she totally hated it. And Paris
Mm-hmm.
Hilton, by the way, she hated it as well. When she starts saying that, it's a challenge. Like, nah, bitch, I'm rich. And then when she actually spoke to Stansberry, it's like, eh. But she felt judged in the moment and she wasn't judging her. All she said to that woman is, you need to bring your child closer.
Mm-hmm.
And what she didn't say was, don't send him to boarding school because that's pushing him further away. But again, if you're not ready for it, it feels like someone's
Erica,
judging.
Erica is saying, who is there to tell her she should be more affectionate to her son?
To that, Erica, I would say she's probably someone whose parents had her at a distance and she could see it. She's probably someone who recognizes what it looks like when the child is speaking. You never know. You don't know. If she recognizes it and she hears this woman about to make a mistake by sending her child to
But Goody,
yeah.
you have to realize that, mute yourself. You have to realize that they are not in a close relationship yet. They are not tight. These are not friends. They are just getting to know each other. You don't meet somebody the first time. That's the first time she was invited to Brooke's house.
Well, that's
You
the best
have got
time to
to get
do.
your
That's the
opinion.
best time to. The best time to make that analysis is when you're not involved in the situation, where you could look at it and be like, "Yo, I felt that way." Like she saw the little boy trying to talk to the mom. Like Brooks is not the most affectionate mother,
Hmm. No, that's true.
and she peeped it and she said something about, because when you went too deep, now you too scared. Look how she treated the people who was in real deep. They wanted to say the same thing. So Erica, again, to answer that, and they weren't joking. She was like, oh, he was just being funny. He wasn't just being funny. He was telling her something he probably couldn't say to her because he was too close to the situation to say it. But then
Well,
it was funny. He was like, I agree.
people are different because I'm thinking, if I'm trying to get to know somebody, then there are things that I'm gonna hold my tongue. But you also have to realize on that dinner when the four of them were seated there, the two friends of Brooks were agreeing with what Sarah was saying. All of them actually were like, you know what? Listen, she's making a point and all that. So she just didn't want to hear anything.
She ain't
You can see
want
her.
critique. She until she spoke to Stansberry, because she was literally about to Louis Vuitton bag her son's education without considering all aspects of the thing. Like, I'm sure it was uncomfortable for her son to be in Dubai with divorced parents. I'm sure the kids make fun of him because that's not the norm.
No, the norm. Yeah.
It is taboo. So your
Mm-hmm.
parents are divorced. You got your black ass mother. I'm sure that that's a little something too.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Your mom, she running around here. She don't, you know, she not doing any of the things that, I'm sure that the kids make fun of him, and I'm sure that she's sending him to boarding school where in the United States. I don't think so.
Nope. There.
Right now, you're gonna send him to boarding school, and you on TV acting an ass all the time.
Yep.
And these kids, they parents don't even need to be on TV. Their parents make guap, and they don't need to be on TV. You need to keep your son where you can see your son.
Mm. Well, but yeah, because she kept saying that her son is being bullied. Her son has been bullied. Now, if your son has been bullied in this school, why do you want to take your son away from you, where he cannot share that with you every time? You know, you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely
He's
do.
already been bullied in this school that he's in, and he comes home every day. What about when you send them away from you and you don't get to see them for such a long time? Even Brooks, come on, man. And this is the only child you have. One. What are you gonna do when you have three like me?
You have one child. Your relationship is kind of cold with you and the child,
Mm-hmm,
and then you send him away.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, one more time for Erica. She might have been doing God's work, causing disruption. She might have just been sent to cause disruption, because I don't think the best thing for that little boy would have been to leave. She is his comfort.
Okay, so well, it looks like after the reunion, because they have already showed the reunion, that the group is now divided. So we have Lisa and Ayan, of course, as usual, together, and we have the four of these other girls together. I don't know at what point Brooks decided to cross over on the other side, because clearly she's had issues with Sarah. She's had issues with who else? Nina. Okay. I just, well, the group is now divided. Did you see that?
Hey, yeah, I don't even care if the group is divided, because honestly, I could see them coming back, but if they didn't come back, I wouldn't be mad.
Who? All of them?
Dubai.
Oh,
That's it. Like, I mean, they're not.
yeah.
Maybe, I would think we don't even know if it's real, because to mention Huntsville again, Huntsville's a really popular reality TV show,
Mm-hmm.
and they are so messy in the off season. They have a totally different show that happens on YouTube and IG, and I think it will not be long before other shows see that this is the way to go. As an example,
Mm.
Bad Girls Club with Ripsy, the first season. Ripsy was a Russian socialite. I laugh about this all the time because I had never seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Ripsy got drunk and she tore that whole house up, and she was trying to fight. I think she was the first reality TV show fight. Right after that, every chick who came on a reality show felt like they had to fight. Either they were being told they had to fight, or production realized that if they get certain kind of dispositions together, they're going to get a fight. But the bottom line is, a fight was going to happen on one of the shows.
Right.
Inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that became the pattern of reality TV until, and Ripsy was a blonde, blue-eyed little socialite. And then it became the narrative that black women were always fighting. And then we had to stop that. But this
Mm-hmm.
messiness that Huntsville brings,
Mm-hmm.
Huntsville is relevant from the time they stop shooting to the next time they start shooting. And other production companies, other shows are going to pay attention to that. And I wouldn't be surprised if they are not being told to keep something going on the social media to make it, because, to stay relevant.
Right. Because they're on a break now. It's coming back, I think, next month, beginning of next month. So I see that. I wanted to bring Ariana. Okay, they better bring Ariana because they're all messy. I don't know why they're not bringing Ariana. I want to see her. Okay, they should bring her back. No, not
No,
Babs.
no, she doesn't need to be on the show. And the reason she doesn't need to be on the show, she wants to be on the show too bad, And I do not think that that woman is mentally prepared for all of this. She's barely prepared for what she's getting now.
Mm-hmm.
That is an unstable woman.
No, listen.
She's not stable, and she doesn't deserve grace because she had when she's been offered grace, she's taken the bowl of grace and thrown it at the people offering it.
I want Ariane to come back, okay? I want her to
She's
come
not.
back.
She's not going to. She's
She's not
irrelevant
back. She has never
at
been
this
there.
stage right now. She's irrelevant. She is exactly what everybody thought she was going to be. She is the woman he was never, ever, ever going to take serious. She is the woman that makes whatever relationship he is in sustainable because he's someone who needs help, and the help he needs is why do you feel like you need. Okay, let's take a step back to
Yeah.
14 years alive. They
Are
were
you serious?
lying.
You want to discuss 14 years of life? Go ahead.
Okay, they were lying,
Mm-hmm.
but the doctor didn't know they were lying.
Mm-hmm.
And what she said was a real man does not destroy what he built.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they were lying and they had built a lie, old boy destroyed the real thing and he destroyed the lie. You follow what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Martel destroyed his family. He created another family and he destroyed that as well. Martel may be a great human, but he's troubled and he needs help. And the
You should
help he needs is not parading around New York with Sheree. The help he
absolutely.
needs is Dr. Francis, but a realer version of Dr. Francis.
This is true
Off
because
camera
if you
version of.
see, when Ariane was trying to posted whatever she was posting on her IG, even saying that you have not been treating my son like the way you treat the others, and you want us to change the kid's name. I mean,
What I want to tell you is I think a lot of people got what she was saying misconstrued.
which is
I think what she was trying to say
mm-hmm,
is he told her that because her relationship with him was different, his relationship with his son was different. And their relationship with each other allowed him to see his child whenever he wanted to see his child, not every other week. But she is so
mm-hmm,
silly and unable to communicate what she's saying that it
mm-hmm,
sounded like she was saying. Martel loves his children, not as much as he loves himself, but he loves his children, Knox included. He loves his children.
mm-hmm.
I don't see him saying, "Yeah, I don't want him every other week." I see him saying, "I don't want him every other week. I want him whenever I can get him." But I
Mm-hmm.
think the way she was saying it, because she was so angry,
Mm-hmm.
and what I don't want to be lost here is
Mm-hmm.
she has 100% replaced Melody. Everything that Melody had to do in her communication with Martel, Ariane has now done in her communication with Martel. Don't call my phone. You are blocked. If you want to contact me, email me because I'm not doing this with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because he needs some place to play these games.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't play those games with Sheree. Not yet. He working on it.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can,
No,
and yes,
he's
he will.
working on it. At this stage of the game. Now you see, he was able to convince Melody that everything they had, they built together. But he hasn't been able to build it yet. You see, you hear what's happening with the wine? How the people ain't getting their wine?
Oh,
The people like, where's my tracking numbers? Where's the wine? And he
and
deleting the comments and telling them,
listen,
nah, you didn't order my wine. You probably ordered somebody else's wine.
he said that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we see Melody, she be shipping that stuff out herself. We see them kids working.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mhm.
follow what I'm saying?
Yep. And the
Martell
thing
ain't gonna be able to convince Sheree that he's the reason for her success.
I really don't understand why Cherie, who is about to be a senior citizen, that you're walking in New York streets, Goody. You know how busy around that area is. That you're walking with a selfie. I don't know what you're trying to prove to us. I like you're walking and you're holding somebody that I
I believe Sheree's a part of a game that she don't even know she's a part of. I think Martell and Ariane were arguing, and
mm-hmm.
Martell wanted to let Ariane know you can be replaced. I told you we was joking, but look at me, we're holding her hand.
Mm-hmm.
You, I ain't never hold your hand in public. Play with me, and he got what he wanted out of Ariane.
Because you have to remember weeks, not even weeks. Remember, Ariane said, mute yourself. Ariane said that, you were just here the other day with me. We were doing whatever we were doing over here. We just went on
You
vacation.
know what she said they was doing?
Don't, um, uh, oh my gosh. Whatever they were
She
doing.
is. She told him he's a liability, and she's right. But she is a liability. I don't know why he believes he's going to get custody of these children, full custody. What he might get, the court might tell him, hey, or might tell Mel, it's not unreasonable for him to ask for first right. But Mel's lawyers could be like, yo, when he has the children, I don't ask him who he got the children. I don't ask when he has the children, he has the children. And when I have the children, I have the children. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
a working mother. And a working mother gets babysitting. And a working mother doesn't question the people about their sexual relations outside of making sure that they're not having them with their kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying? Like Pete Martell, all of those men actually, the Scotts as well. All of them, Mark included. They have a very funny way of looking at situations. And because they believe the way they're seeing it, they will
Mm-hmm.
have you convinced that a woman should be at home with the children most of the time.
Right.
But that's not the real world. That's just the world they live in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you recognize, Maurice was trying to have Kimmy be more home or entrepreneur. He don't want her out there working for other people. Because I can't control what you do down to the hospital. I
Mm-hmm.
can't control who you come in contact with down to the hospital. And Huntsville is small. And you might run into one of these women, these linebackers, that you might
What
run into
in
people on.
LA? Oh, I know what you meant. It's what Goody was asking. Yeah. I don't know what they were doing over there. Listen, she went
She
into
was very
detail.
clear that they was doing. She got it on the ring camera. If she said the ring cam, you know what? You wanna know why Martell better not play with her? I believe she got video, audio. I believe she got all kind of foolishness on this fool.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Mm.
At some point after she became a peasant, she would have had to get some kind of common sense. Like he's playing with me and she's young. I know what I'm gonna do. Young people like to document everything. Young people are the screenshot champions of the world.
Goody say young people. Young people. Young
Yo,
people.
just 10 years younger than me. I'm 47, 37. They
Mm-hmm.
got screenshot galore. Yo, I have one of my business partners is like 38. Don't have a conversation with her that you don't want on full blast. She gets her screenshots.
Oh, Jesus, help us all. Help
But
us
yeah,
all.
are we done with Dubai? Because I gotta go up in this place and get my carpet cleaner.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. We have Ready to Love Miami. Have you been watching it?
I'm so over them. It doesn't feel if I don't think the people are really attractive.
No, they're not.
One of the things I really don't like in this world is the headband wig. And there's a lot of headband wigs on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just I'm not feeling it.
I
I've
am
been
totally
watching. I didn't watch the
down.
last episode. As a matter, you, the chick Charisse, that's her name.
Yes.
She looks exactly like my cousin, so it's weirding me out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Um.
don't like. I've lost the belief that anyone's there looking for love.
Right.
I don't get the vibe that anyone's there looking for love. I feel like
It's a whole
there's
lot.
what this will be at the fourth episode, right?
Yes.
It feel all of these episodes feel a lot like the beginning mixer. They don't feel like they've started to crack the surface of anything.
Mm-hmm. It's Miami. It's fake. It's
They don't,
everything. It's fake.
it seems to me while there were good seasons prior, it feels
Yeah.
like the
That I was
DC.
gonna say. I was gonna tell Goody that exactly.
No, my cousin doesn't act like that at all. She's a proper Beijing girl.
Mhm.
Um, she wouldn't even be caught. That she'd be, oh my god, no. But
But Goody, 1 second. I don't think Cherise in this particular time when she was talking to Eric, is that his name, Mike, and she said she was talking about him being baggage in that particular one. I feel like she was honest about it. I mean, listen, the woman is single. She's never been married. She doesn't have children. You come here with 3 children.
this is
Not
what I'll
married.
tell you. If a man was telling that to a woman, everybody would be like, preferences. He has a preference. The problem is you can't be disruptive all the time. You can't always be an asshat and then come out there speaking too much truth. Because now people who want to use the fact that you're an asshat against you, they're gonna use it. Like for the show, for me, I don't feel like anyone's looking for love. It feels like we're still on the first date with all of them, and you in DC and in the DMV area. I will
Potam,
give them this.
was it Potomac? Yeah.
At least they made it interesting. I
Yeah.
was
Listen.
entertained, even though I knew none of them was looking for love. I was entertained. These people
Right.
are entertaining me.
Yes. Me too. Listen, even the Florida girl, that flower of hers fascinates me too. Um, listen.
And then they're trying to be a little. It's like some of them are trying to take us from zero to PDA real quick.
Mm.
Like the one with the son. My son is my world. Touch my leg. Yeah,
She's the
pause.
one. She's the
What's
one with the
happening?
flower.
Yeah, like what are we doing? And why are we doing this so quickly? Like I don't feel like I've gone on the second date with y'all yet. It's just confusing to me. Their whole situation is whack. Ready to Love needs a real shakeup. And I feel like they need to think about how they're recording the show too. They're coming back too quick. I think they need to assess because they had very big, even though it was full of shit, they had very big personalities in the DMV area. And
Mm-hmm.
because if they had paused a bit, instead of recording while we were watching DMV, instead of
Right.
recording then, they should have paused so they could pick either the same level of personality or bigger personalities than that.
Yeah.
But this feels very mid-level snore fest in comparison to some of the things we've seen in the past two seasons. And I'm not saying the past the 2 seasons prior to that for me were actually people looking for love. The
Yeah.
past 2 seasons were people looking to entertain us, and this season right now is a snore fest. They going into the fourth episode. Unless they're gonna tell us that they have more episodes, I'm bored.
How many episodes do you think they have?
I think it's a normal 13 like anybody else.
Okay, so then listen, they have already done their reunion. I don't know why they are doing their reunion at this point. We still don't know their names. I don't know. We already know who a couple is. Like this girl over here. What's her name? Jeez. She's posting. She's posting. Oh, what happened to Goody? She's posting on her IG that they are a couple. What's her name? Let's look for her. What's her name, you guys? She is. I cannot see her. She is a couple with this dude. Where are they? Don't know. With him, Swansea, and somebody else. The girl, what's her name? Not her, not her. Where is this girl with the flower? I don't like this girl with the flower. I really don't like her. Mm-mm. I don't like her at all. I don't know. And she's been going live and dishing and shading all her cast members. And listen, I don't like. This is my fave though. I like this one. I love her. I love her. This is my favorite. I like him too. I like her too. This one reminds me of Ray J's sister, you guys. She kind of looks like Ray J's sister. At this point, I'm extending grace to Cherise. I really am extending grace. I'm hoping tonight is going to be better. And I'm going to be coming back like around 10 to review Ready to Love Miami, you guys. I'm going to come back live at 10, around 10:30 after the show airs. I think it's going on right now. So let's go watch it. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to review it because I don't want to delay it. If I delay like this, I don't know if I'm. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna be, but if I don't do it today, then I can do it tomorrow. But we have to talk about it. But I'm extending grace to Cherise. I'm extending grace to her. I don't know about her. I don't know about her. We'll wait and see, guys. Wait and see. I think Goody went to clean her carpet. Yeah, Caddy. Yes, that's her name. Yes, the men. Don't they say that the men aren't doing as much to woo the women as previous? Because you would see them because they're not interested. These men are not interested in any of these women over here. Who are they going to be interested in it? I mean, they are not compatible because, listen, who, now this one is him and her, kind of, these two, right? All right. Who else? He doesn't have his person over there. I don't think so. She doesn't have her person there. She doesn't have her person there. All right. This dude over here is another one. Like I don't know what he's still doing. So I don't know what he's doing with all the shittiness and stuff that has been going on, on IG and him being and the girl saying that we were in a relationship. I did not know that you are shooting this show and all that. I don't know what he doesn't have his person. Forget about even if he did not have this girlfriend. Like on this cast, he doesn't have anybody. Just like she did not have and she left. This one over here, I don't know, why does she look way older than 33? Why she looks way older than that 33, you guys? She doesn't look 33 to me. Yes, me too. I like those two. I like them. No, it's not gonna happen. Erica, no. Samson even likes Cherise too, but I don't think so. But Jamal, she looks way older, you guys. And she's 33 years old. I don't know about it, but this particular picture over here, even the way she comes and that date with her and what's his name? This dude that he thinks that everybody wants him. I don't know. She kept saying, you like me? Oh, you want to. It was too much to watch. Too much. So I'm hoping, something better will come up tonight. Who knows? All right. Who knows? But somebody is going home, and I'm thinking, I don't know about it, but maybe this dude over here is going to be sent home. He needs to go. Him. Oh, and then this one is one. Joanne, didn't he leave at that white party, the pool party that they had? He had, he said he had. Listen, these dudes over here, they are not interested in anybody over here. They're looking around and they're saying, oh my gosh. They're not interested. And that's why they're not going to make any moves towards these women because what's the point? What's the point? Randall, yes, Randall. That the date that Randall had with her, the date that Randall had with her, I was like cringing. I was like, what is this? What is this? Nothing deep, very surface, like nothing deep. And 33 is not young. At this point, my goodness, 33 is not young. All these people over here. I don't know. If this is what Miami can offer, I don't know. I'm disappointed a little bit. And they're also not very good looking. Nah, like the men, like, DC, when you are seeing all these men, they're coming there with their suits and, looking good, chocolate, these ones over here. I mean, you guys, look at this. Right, jeez, I like him though. I like him. I like him. He's also funny. I like him too. He's funny. Cersei is funny. Okay, he's the one who's not hiding the relationship that he has with the girl. You keep reminding me her name and I keep forgetting it. But yeah, we'll see what happens, you guys. We'll see what happens. But do not forget to subscribe. All right? Don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe. Let them know that I'm live, that I am live on these social media streets. All right? And like, share, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here. I love you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend and tune in. Hit that notification button so that when I go live, I see you over here giving me all the support. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.